Welcome to the Way to Go podcast. Bill McMahon along with Mark Hostetler.
How you doing?
Good.
Good.
How long has it been since we've done one of these?
It's got to be over a month.
Man, it has to be.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely has to be. I would say
you're slacking.
Yeah. You know what?
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, it's
right.
like exercise. You get behind, you get out of the rhythm of doing it. And that's for us even today.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're on Friday. We're just making it happen. It's not that we don't have a dozen other things going on, but yeah, it seemed like every week we're going to come back off funeral, this or that.
And that's the truth of the matter. I mean, I said that, but I was completely joking. You're not slacking. We're not slacking. It's busy.
Right.
I mean, there's just no doubt about it.
It's like blocking off your time. Like you have to block off time for it, like anything else. And that's one thing I've been trying to do is just block off time to get to the important things in life. And I think that in doing that, like blocking off time to read my Bible, blocking off time to exercise, blocking off that, you just have to block out time or it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, absolutely. That's what I've been working on this morning, actually, is it feels good. Like you said, you don't lose your train of focus, your train of thought, when you're mapping things out and you block out a chunk of time, I mean, it's very helpful.
Right. Well, it's nice for me to get the sermon done before we did this, actually, to block that out. But one of the things, I mean, you think about a block of time or something's going to be blocked out. We've got Thanksgiving coming up.
Yeah.
And that's in from the time this airs. It'll be a couple days away. I love Thanksgiving. I mean, I love the holiday. I enjoy being with family. I used to watch football. I haven't watched football, so I don't know if I'll even be able to because I don't have the channels. So
I don't either.
So I don't know that I'll really be watching football like I normally would on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah.
But that, that's okay. My family will be over, whoever's around, whatever kids are in town. So I might be a grandfather by then. You don't know. I mean, Cassie right now, so now we're producing this. It's, the 23rd, 24th. So this is showing 20. So probably 6 days away from her due date when this airs.
Oh, man.
So, I mean, we're getting
That's got to be exciting for you, man. I mean,
it is. It's a little intimidating, too. Like, I'm super excited. I know I'll cry. Like, I will cry, no doubt. I'll be so happy. But I think also the other, not understanding, like, how this is going to affect my schedule, not understanding how, like, what's that going to mean for my life?
Right.
And, because talking about blocking out time, like, I got a pretty good flow going, right now, the way that I live and the things that I'm involved in, the things that I do. And I'm like, this is going to be a flow disruptor right here. So I'm going to be, because I want to be committed to being a good grandfather, especially
you're
if that kid
be.
can walk. I know I will.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, there's no doubt in my mind.
Right. Yeah. You're going to be.
Like, I'll know what my priorities are for sure. And I'll be taking that kid fishing and hiking and making that kid's life great, as long as I'm alive to do it, that's for sure.
But I think this year, we're far enough away from the COVID scare. I think most everybody is going to be back to their normal kind of, what they did pre-COVID.
Oh, yeah. I've heard nothing about it.
Right. So I think that's a good thing. Praise God for that. Our family, is deciding that we're going to be meeting together. We actually have another family going to be joining us, so there's going to be a bunch of people Thursday morning, getting together, the smells in the house, the spread of food, the fun, the joy, the laughter. I mean, that to me, that's Thanksgiving, is just that warm kind of cozy feeling. I like to take a walk Thanksgiving morning. I just always do.
Really?
I don't know.
Like
I
where?
just around my house, around the nature, just being outside. We used to do that at my dad's house when we were kids. Thursday morning, we'd wake up, we'd just take walks in the woods and just get out,
Well,
get
what
outside.
I was asked to do, actually, somebody stopped by, and I was in your office. They stopped by and talked to both of us.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
They wanted me to play football at the Thanksgiving Day game, which I started the annual Thanksgiving game. I started it originally, and that had to be 25 plus years ago. I love playing football. I never thought there would be a day when I didn't play football, but then I went to steelhead fishing. Then I've been running the Miracle Mile. This year, I don't know. Will I run the Miracle Mile? I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do it or not. And then, I don't know. I don't know what I'll do.
You know what? Now that I think about it, last year and the year before, I don't think I took a walk. I actually sighted in my guns that morning.
It was?
Yeah, I sighted in my guns that mornings. But I usually like to get outside and take a walk, do something like that outside in the morning.
I will probably be outside. I mean, I'm not going to be sitting around the house smelling turkey cooking, that's for sure. Like, I'll be out doing something.
No, I tell you what, that's one of my favorite things.
There might be snow on the ground, actually. No, there won't. I heard it's going to warm up. It's going to warm up. We're supposed to get a snow this weekend, and then it's going to warm up.
We've been having this pattern, haven't we? Snow
Yeah.
before Thanksgiving and then nothing on Christmas. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man.
Wear white Thanksgivings
Right, right.
and green Christmases.
But I'm grateful for everything.
No, I am. I'm
Because
thankful.
it-
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, well, I'll just hang out with the family and do whatever. I'm sure it'll be a casual day. And it says in Psalm 100, the first verse, a psalm for giving thanks. Make it a joyful noise to the Lord, all the earth. Serve the Lord with gladness, come into his presence with singing. That's a great thing. You know, you're going to serve God, serve with gladness, make a joyful sound, all the earth. Come to his presence with singing. Know that the Lord, he is God. It is he who made us, and we are his. We are his people, the sheep of his shepherd. Enter his gates with thanksgiving, his courts with praise. Give thanks to him, bless his name. For the Lord is good, and steadfast love endures forever, his faithfulness to all generations. So, you know, he's
Amen.
good, his faithful love, and, you know, we should come into his presence with singing. So, yeah, Thanksgiving Day should be a day set aside to remember all the things God's done for us.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you go around the table sometimes and you ask, hey, what are you grateful for today? Or what are you grateful for this year? What God's done? I love the idea that we take time to reflect. How often do we just take time to reflect? You know, well, Thanksgiving is one of them holidays that gives you time to reflect and go, okay, how has God showed up? And how can I express my gratitude for that, you know, this past year or whatever? He's sustained us, you know, our staff this year. He's sustained us, man. I mean, I'm grateful for that.
Yep.
You know, I'm really grateful. One of the other things that we do at Thanksgiving that I've come to just love is Thanksgiving Eve. We have a service here.
Yeah.
And to pass the mic and to hear the testimonies of the people, you know, just saying, you know, how God's been faithful to them. That's been really rewarding for me, watching that and listening to that. That's at 7:00, by the way, on Wednesday, the Thanksgiving Eve, you know.
No, I think it'll be great. I look forward to it. You get a lot of interesting testimonies. I think it's very encouraging.
I think it's
actually.
interesting, too, that he says, enter his gates with thanksgiving.
Right.
Like, come into the presence of God with a grateful heart. You know what I mean? Just be grateful. I mean, he's attracted to that, I think. Humility and gratitude.
Oh, for
God,
sure.
God loves those things in a person.
Well, I think that, you know, you come into the season, you come into church, it should be with gratitude. It says if you got anxieties, things you're worried about, you should be still giving thanks. I mean, that's what it says. We'll look at that verse in a few minutes. But
Give thanks in all your, count it all joy when you're faced with all trials. You know, kind of have this overarching attitude of joy, thanksgiving, gratitude, humility. That's what godly people do.
Right.
You know, and God likes that. He wants that.
yeah, you know, I think the whole thinking of your attitude, it really, honestly, the things you talk about affects your attitude and the people around you. And that's true. Like I've been trying to be, I'm going to say more positive, but just not talking about negative stuff, let's say. But it does create a more positive environment. In other words, well, you're not really going to change said negatives. You're not really going to, doesn't really make a difference. So why be talking about it? I actually talked to a young man just was this past week, and I told him, listen, you need to just stop talking about it. You need to stop talking about what you're worried about. You need to stop talking about, because he's just driving everyone around him crazy. He's just so worried. And I'm like, just stop talking about it. Because you stop talking about it, you're going to stop thinking about it. You stop thinking about it, you're going to be less worried.
That's
you just,
true.
Like, we are breathing out sometimes, I think, negativity, even, I'm not saying quite cursing, like we're not asking anyone to curse us, but you're drawing a lot of dark attention
Absolutely.
to things. Like my dad was dead before my age, like 2 years, you know, earlier than my age now. And coming up to that, like for 20 years, because my dad and I were 20 years difference, for 20 years, you know, like when you hit that age, well, geez, you know, my granddad died then, my dad died then. I remember I made that comment to somebody one time, and he goes, don't even say it.
Yep.
Don't say it. Don't speak it. Don't think it. And so sometimes that counsel, both direct and indirect even, has a powerful influence, because I'm realizing, just don't talk about this stuff. Like, don't talk about the darkness. Don't talk about all the bad stuff. Don't talk about, because, you know, people sitting around talking about the news all day, I don't imagine they're positive.
Yeah. All right.
Right. I mean,
no,
so
I
you come
agree
to
with you.
think, you know, you come in with a thankful heart, and you come in saying, hey, you know, this is what I'm happy about. This is what I'm grateful for. This is where the great things are happening. And it's just a
Absolutely.
different,
Absolutely.
different attitude.
The power of the tongue has life. The tongue has the power of life and death in it. You know, when you speak things, there's power in your speech. I mean, there really is. I don't quite understand all the spiritual dynamics to it, but man, it goes far beyond what we just say. I mean, it has impact. It has lasting impact too. So be careful what you say. Say things with a grateful heart.
I think too. Some of us are freer talkers. Like I'm a free range talker guy. I have no problem telling you what I think. Like it's not a problem for me. Like it is communication. Not an issue. If something bugs me, I'm usually open to somebody about it. Like you never have to worry about me, Bill's really holding stuff within. Probably not. You know what I'm saying? Probably not.
Yeah, we're just gonna
not my style. But I do think on the other hand, there's that one point of your personality, but then there's the other part of just you don't need to say everything. You can just let it go, and it just better.
It is. Yeah.
So when you're going down the road talking to your wife, I mean, what are you talking to your wife about? If you're dealing with your kids, what are you talking to your kids about? What kind of things are you really saying? I think that's all, pretty vital. I mean, we're in a season of Thanksgiving. Attitude of gratitude, is positive.
Oh, yeah. Especially in your marital relationships and close relationships, man. How much better is it for us to be affirming each other and being grateful for what we do? And, instead of always nagging at each other, take a minute. And I when I'm doing counseling, I'll often ask, how often are you affirming each other? Right. Take time just to say, hey, I appreciate you taking out the garbage yesterday. Right. Or, hey, I noticed that you washed the dishes yesterday or something. I'm grateful for that. Thank you. That goes a long way in a relationship.
Man. To be honest, like I don't know how it is with other people outside of my family. Like I assume I'm pretty encouraging because I'm just like naturally I'm pretty positive as far as I'm an encourager. Oh, yeah. I tend to be an encourager.
Yep.
But my wife, my goodness, I mean I'm always encouraging. I'm always saying, hey, that's great, that's wonderful. Anything anyone does around the church that I'm aware of, if I'm around it, I'm gonna say thanks. Now maybe if you did it and I didn't see it, I'm not going to be thinking about it on Sunday morning because I got a lot of other things in my mind. But if I'm there and I see that stuff going on, oh my goodness, man, you're going to really hear it from me about, hey, I super appreciate our ladies who do bereavement dinners. They're phenomenal. The Operation Christmas Child, everything that just happened. I think of Chessa and Tiffany and Allie and Chris and their husbands and the things that it takes. I mean, for them to do it, as like Jason Shadle told me, there's months of where they're buying stuff out of either salvage stores or whatever, getting ready.
Wow.
Well, they had enough materials to pack 750. I heard 4 from him, and then someone said 56. So of course I'm going with the highest number. 7, honestly, like 754, 756 is not a significant difference there, but one number or the other. But yeah, that's what we packed, over 750. So
do you remember
so excited? Like they're so excited about this. They keep count of it. Like they keep, as they have a tally sheet on the wall, and they keep scratching off because they keep count. Because I said, "Are you keeping count?" Tally's right up there, Bill. I'm like, awesome.
Do you remember when Steve Arslick went to Honduras and he when we did Operation Christmas Child promotion, he gave a picture of a little girl standing on the side of the road, and she's holding this little box. Right. It amazed me because he said, you guys, you might think this is December, her holding this box. It's June. She was holding her box in June.
Right.
I mean, for 756 kids.
Right.
They're going to receive these boxes across the world, and they're just going to treasure this thing like something we in America, unfortunately, I don't know that we understand.
Right.
Kids' toys are 5 minutes later. They don't even know where they are, when they open them for Christmas.
Right.
This girl was holding her box in June, man.
Right.
I mean, that's incredible. So to be a part of that, that's just so rewarding.
I told Jerry whatever they need. She went out and bought, they needed some wow gifts. I said, I want to make sure I'm contributing. Not just I'm over there packing some boxes out of other things other people contribute. Like, I want my money going to this.
Yeah, no, I wasn't able to pack the boxes, but my wife and family actually went out, did the shopping. They, I brought them in, made sure that there's stuff that from the Hostetler home, we're contributing to that.
Absolutely.
Because, man, it's such a reward. Ever since Steve said that, I mean, it broke my heart. I'm like, this little girl.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for the opportunity to just impact, even if it's just one person with my gift. all their whole year they're holding on to that thing,
Right.
from what I can understand. You know,
Right.
that goes, and you know, you have your compassion child or you know,
Right.
another child that you're sponsoring or whatever. This is over and above. You know what I mean? This is the gratitude.
Right.
I'm grateful for the opportunity God has given me to bless those children, you know?
Absolutely. And I think it's something I'm thankful for. So when I think about thankful, again, the Women with Bereavement, Operation Christmas Child, the women who are coming to clean the church, our worship team, youth leaders, there is so much work that is accomplished. I have a friend that's not, doesn't go to church, but he knows what I do now. So I'll talk to him about the volunteer army. You know, what do you do, Bill? I lead a volunteer army. That's what I do. And I said, I give praise all the time. I give thanks all the time for the volunteers of this church, because I realize I cannot do what I do. This church would never be successful because I'm getting up there only and giving a sermon. It's important, and it's important to be strong at a big gathering time for the church, but that's not what the only thing going on around here.
We don't want to reduce the church to a 35-minute sermon on Sunday morning. You know,
I don't.
The church is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I mean, it's Saturday. There's bereavement team
credit.
coming in, and they're helping out with a funeral at the time of this production. There's a funeral tomorrow.
Right.
There's a team of women getting geared up. They're going to come in and they're going to help out. I mean, these guys are amazing.
They have so many weeks this year, because you've done that. Well, you're not doing the funeral, but you've done 9. I've done 11. I think is what it is now. So that's 20. Between the other pastors, another 5.
Yeah.
So we've done 25 funerals this year. Now, one of my funerals was out of state. I think one of Adam's was out of state. So 2 of the funerals we did were out of state, but the rest of them are around here.
Yeah.
And it's a lot. I mean, that's you're looking at right now. I mean, we're involved in over 2 funerals per month.
Yeah.
And many have involved our bereavement team, who
Absolutely.
I feel, it seems to me, I don't have the numerical proof for this. I'd have to look at other years to see where we're at. But honestly, I think other years, if we were combined weddings and funerals and at 25 as a staff, we'd be doing pretty good. I mean, I'm at, I don't know, 15 myself between weddings and funerals this year.
Wow.
So yeah, over once a month, I'm involved in a wedding or funerals. And they're very time consuming.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, all those things are extremely time consuming. So
you got to meet with the families. You got to do, if you're doing a wedding, you're usually doing premarital counseling leading up to it. You know,
right? But
it's
somebody's got to be here. Like somebody's got to be here to cook that food. Somebody's got to, like, when you come back with that family who's grieving, to have those women there. And again, that's one part of ministry. I think of our small group leaders who open up their homes or go to another place and they meet with people week after week.
Oh yeah,
they do this.
Absolutely.
They prepare. They make the effort. People bring food to our meetings, Celebrate Recovery and Keith Appleby, and like, so when I'm thankful, like I want to give that praise to God, and I want to give God praise for the people, and thank the people who are here doing a lot of work, because again, it's like I do some things, like I work in my field. I'll do a podcast. I teach 2 Bible studies. I write the daily huddles. I do a sermon. So there's counsel, administration. There's a lot of things that I do. But my goodness, I mean, it's a drop in the bucket. I mean, compared to the entire church.
Monday evening, we had a board meeting. We had how many guys sitting around a table helping us make
13,
decisions
14,
in the leadership of the church. This morning I took notice of this. Your wife has a Bible study on Fridays right now, and she's walking through the narthex back over to the offices. And one of the ladies that's helping to watch the children, while other ladies are able to go into her Bible study, she was out there. And I took notice of your wife saying, "Thank you so much for what you do."
Right. What about all the people who do slides?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's
Slides,
endless,
sound.
Bill. I mean,
Right.
Slides, sound, camera operators. You got my
Nursery.
worship team over
Junior
there.
church.
Those guys are incredible.
Right.
This team that I got around me, I don't know what I would do without them.
Right.
My family, everything. It's just, the other thing about this whole topic is, I know you probably want to get into scripture, but the other thing I want to say real quick is, this is a tone setter. When you have a grateful heart and you say things with gratitude a lot, you'll set the tone for other people.
Right.
If you're what is the word, down,
Down or negative.
yeah, negative, that kind of thing,
Pessimistic,
you're
yeah.
also going to spread that.
Right.
I'd much rather be around a bunch of grateful people than downers. You know what I mean? So
or can-do people. Like I think you can recognize problems, but you're can-do. It's like for every problem, there's a solution. Like we will figure it out. Like we will get there. We will get it done, and not worry about it too much. But I mean, my heart is full of gratitude. Typically, like I'm very grateful. I'm grateful for my friends. I'm grateful for God. I'm grateful for church. I'm grateful for sustaining and strength and all these things. Like I'm grateful.
Yeah.
You know, was it a hard year? Yeah, it was a hard year. You know, I'm not doubting it. And my goodness, I mean, every year has been a hard year anyway, but I would just say there's always a lot to do, and it's okay. You know what I mean? I'm thankful because, you know, you can march on when you got a lot of great people marching with you. And you know God's giving you strength. Like you can march through a lot of stuff, but if you didn't have those people around you, you'd be so discouraged. You'd be wanting to throw in the towel.
Absolutely, man.
So, I mean, what they bolster, like we're bolstered. I mean, think about the praises of the people and the praises of God. So, yeah, it said in that verse, come into God with thanksgiving. You know, worship, you know, we come with praise on our hearts and we do this Thanksgiving. But that's it for this podcast. So
hopefully your Thanksgiving goes fantastic. If you guys can make it out Thanksgiving evening, 7 o'clock is the service, but there's a community dinner from 4 to 6 as well. If you want to come out, take part of that community dinner, you can serve at the community dinner. That'd be awesome too.
Thanks Rita for that.
Thank Rita and the team for that. Absolutely.
Oh, it's endless. Like you said, it's endless people. We have an army of volunteers at Eagleville Bible Church. We're extremely blessed, and we're very grateful. So thank you, guys.
Yeah.
We thank God. We thank you. So we appreciate you. You all have a blessed and an awesome week.